Hello and welcome to my channel. A massive happy new year to you all. I hope you got to spend some precious time with your families at home and had some delicious food. So today I'm going to bring you one of my all-time favourite Japanese comfort dishes. It's prawn katsu curry. Plump and juicy fried panko breaded king prawns served with steamed white rice together with this classic Japanese curry sauce. Today's video is again brought to you in collaboration with OCADO, the UK online supermarkets. You can order authentic Japanese ingredients online in the comfort of your own home and have them delivered straight to your doorstep. So without further ado, let's crack on. So the following ingredients can all be found on the OCADO website. Click on the descriptions box below for the full details and links to the products on their websites. So the first one we're going to talk about is the Yutaka panko. So panko is a Japanese style breadcrumb using white bread without the crust. This results in a much lighter and airier crumb that tends to absorb less grease and therefore stays crispier for longer. We're also going to be using this S&B instant curry mixture today. So when at home, I rarely if ever make a curry from scratch. Honestly, the majority of Japanese people use this style of instant curry mix at home. They're really convenient and also taste great. Next, we'll be using this Nishiki musenmai medium grain rice today. I love using this rice at home. One of the main reasons is you don't need to wash it before use, so it's extremely convenient if you're short on time. It also means that you won't be wasting too much water that you'd usually use during the washing phase. Finally, we'll be serving the curry with these Yutaka mixed vegetable pickles. We call these fukujinzuke in Japan, and the sweet pickles give a great contrast to the typically salty and spicy curry sauce. Let's begin by cooking the rice. Take 3 cups of rice, add water, adjust accordingly, and cook in your rice cooker. Alternatively, check the descriptions box below on how to cook rice using a standard pot on the stove. Take half a medium onion, peel, and cut into approximately 3mm thick slices. Add to a cooking pot. Then take around 25 grams of butter and add to the pot. Start by bringing the pan to heat and continue to cook on a low heat, stirring occasionally for around 15 minutes or until the onions become soft and sweet. Once softened, add around 720 milliliters of cold water to the pot. Bring the water to a boil, then turn the heat down to rolling simmer for around 10 to 15 minutes. In the meantime, let's start prepping the prawns. I'm using headless black tiger prawns today. Start by removing the sharp part of the shell just by the tail. Next, carefully remove the shell from the prawn, but leaving only the very top part of the shell and tail on the body. Next, take the edge of your knife and scrape away any discolored parts. You will be left with a much brighter and golden tail after deep frying. Next, cut off the very tip of the tail at a diagonal angle. This is done to make the prawn much more aesthetically pleasing after frying. Facing the blade of the knife, cut along the center of the prawn around 2mm deep away from the tail. Now that the vein has been exposed, remove with the knife, then wash under a cold tap and pat dry with kitchen paper. With the belly of the prawn facing up, carefully make around 4 incisions with your knife to around half the depth of the prawn. Next, with the prawn belly down, using your fingertips, press down gently on the prawn to stretch it out. You should be able to hear a clicking noise when pressing down. This is done to ensure that the prawn doesn't curl when cooking. Next, crack 1 egg into a bowl and beat thoroughly. In the following order, place a plate with plain flour, enough to coat the prawns, followed by the beaten egg, then finally panko breadcrumbs in a bowl, again enough to coat the prawns. Season the prawns lightly with salt and white pepper. Next, dredge only the fleshy part of the prawn in the white flour, making sure to shake off any excess flour. Coat the prawn well with the beaten egg, again only the fleshy part of the prawn. Finally, coat the prawn liberally with the panko breadcrumbs, ensuring that the eggy part is well covered with the panko. Gently press down on the prawn to straighten it up and to ensure that the panko sticks to the prawn. A little tip for you next, I always cut the instant curry blocks into smaller pieces so that they melt quicker and dissolve more evenly. To do this, don't use a chopping board as it will discolor and leave a strong curry scent on the board. Instead, you can create your own makeshift disposable chopping board by breaking down the cardboard packaging like so. Next, place the block of curry onto the box and cut into smaller pieces. This step is completely optional, of course. So after around 15 minutes on a rolling simmer, turn down the burner to the lowest heats possible and add your instant curry mix to the pot. Stir continuously until the curry has completely dissolved and combines well with the water. Make sure to scrape the entire inside of the pot, ensuring that no curry mix is left undissolved. Next, add cooking oil to a pan, enough to be able to cover the prawns sufficiently, and bring up to around 175 degrees Celsius. You can check the temperature with a wooden chopstick. If you start to see vigorous bubbling, it's ready to use. Next, gently lay your prawns into the oil away from you so that the oil doesn't splatter towards you. Fry for around 1 minute on each side. Use a wire rack if you have one at home. If not, you can use a high-sided bowl with some kitchen paper at the bottom to absorb the excess oil. Do not place the prawns flat down onto a plate, as the condensation created under the prawns will make the crispy panko coating soggy. Carefully remove the prawns from the oil with some chopsticks or tongs and shake off any excess oil. All that's left is to plate up. First things first, I'm going to open a nice ice cold bottle of beer. So this is Asahi, which is one of the big breweries in Japan. So I always think a beer goes really well with the curry. So let's crack this open. Yes. Kanpai everyone. Refreshing, lovely. So let's dig in while it's still hot. How did you think it turned out? I think it turned out pretty well. I'm quite happy with the results. Like I said in the video before, I do love a curry. It's one of my favorite Japanese comfort dishes. There we go. Itadakimasu. That's good. It's slightly spicy. Not too much, perfect amount of heat. Perfect balance between savouriness and sweetness. Very aromatic curry spices. Show you one of these. Oh, yes. Still looks quite hot. Nice and crispy on the outside, really succulent and juicy in the inside. Let's put some of this curry sauce on the prawn. Yes. So these are black tiger prawns. Hopefully the mic's picking up on the crunchiness of the panko breadcrumbs. So prawn katsu curry is definitely one of my favourite curries, but there are so many variations. Chicken katsu, pork katsu are very popular. You can also get beef curry, vegetable curry. The list is endless. And these jinzuke pickles, these mixed vegetable pickles are fantastic. Slightly sweet, but they work really well with the spicy and salty curry. And a lovely texture. So we've got some cucumber, some radish in here, some lotus root, mixed vegetables. We've also got some salad leaves, just to cleanse the palate. Great thing about deep frying prawns is that you can enjoy the shells that are nice and crunchy. So good. So I've left the best for last. My final bites is the prawn. How's that for clean? I really enjoyed eating that. So please try that at home. It's really not difficult. Just a few key ingredients. Delicious, filling, perfect on a winter's night. Didn't take long at all. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you're keeping safe wherever you are. Until next time, bye-bye.